Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Monday Lunchtime Digest. My name is Hayley. I'm with the Oklahoma Counseling Institute, and we have a lot to talk about today. So, first of all, I'd like to bring up some research from the University of Oregon. And so, the University of Oregon looked at the relationship between sleep and mental health in children, adolescents, and young adults between the ages of 16 and 24. And as we all probably know, there is a strong relationship between getting adequate sleep and having a good mental health. But what these researchers looked at is not necessarily how much sleep kiddos are getting every night, but if they're able to catch up on sleep over the weekend and how that affects mental health. And what they found was that those ages 16 to 24 who were able to sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays, no matter what their sleep schedule looked like throughout the week, if they were able to catch up on sleep Saturdays and Sundays, they had a 41% decreased likelihood of developing depression symptoms. And so I think this is good to keep in mind because according to the study, uh, teens and young adults that age, their prime sleep window is between 11 o'clock p.m. and 8 o'clock a.m., which kind of goes against what our society says is when the day starts. Because I know that even in my neighborhood in Edmond, there are kiddos who are picked up by the bus at 6:30 in the morning. So sometimes they're starting school well before 8 a.m. And so even though their sleep window is that time, they might not be able to get adequate sleep because they have to wake up earlier than that. But the biggest thing is, if they, according to this research, if they're able to catch up on sleep, they're able to sleep in on those weekends, then that might help to mitigate some of those possible negative effects of not getting adequate sleep. And so I think that's good for us to keep in mind as we're working with adolescents, we're working with parents, say, hey, advocating for those kiddos to be able to have a bit more rest on the weekends. We don't necessarily have to wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturday, my friends. And so that's what's going on in research. And again, I'll post that on our social media here in a bit. Let's talk about the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. And so, my friends, we are only about 4 months away from our fifth annual Summer Super Summit. And so, the Summer Super Summit is set to take place May 6th, 7th, and 8th. It should be a 6th right there. And so, this year we're offering the ability to earn up to 20 hours of continuing education training. So, we're going to have our general conference May 7th and 8th. And then we'll also have our pre conference on May 6th. And so, if you attend all 3 days, you can earn up to 20 hours of continuing education. We're going to offer over 6 hours of ethics, 3 hours of supervision, I think about 12 hours of addictions counseling specific, and much more. And so, if you'd like to register, I encourage you to do so before the 20th because after January 20th, prices will increase. And so, right now, if you're a member of the Oklahoma Counseling Institute and you register, you'll save about $140 on registration for the 3-day event. And so, please, please, please go to go to counselinginstitute.org today to register. And as always, if you have any questions, send me an email, shoot me a text, hello@edmondcounseling.com or 405-440-3034. Also at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute, we have our upcoming live our live in-person training season. That's going to kick off Friday, March 6th. And so you can go to counselinginstitute.org today to save the dates. Friday, March 6th is going to be our upcoming first in-person training day. This year, we're going to alternate between Fridays and Saturdays. We've had some feedback, so some folks would prefer to see us on Fridays, and we're okay with that. And so join us again Friday, March 6th for our first in-person training, and that registration will be up soon. We also have here in about 2.5, 3 weeks, our next Whimsical Wednesdays. So Whimsical Wednesdays is a time for mental health therapists to get together, to have fun, to relax and unwind. Last week, we met up at Good for a Few to have some good conversation and good fun. And so our next Whimsical Wednesday will be Wednesday, February 4th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And we're going to meet at Round 1 Arcade at Quail Springs Mall. If you haven't been at Round 1 Arcade, it is super fun. They have good food, they have good beverages, they have the opportunity to play some arcade games. Maybe we can convince Micah to let us get a room for karaoke or maybe a lane for bowling. But there's a lot of fun activities. So join us at Round 1 Arcade. Again, that'll be Wednesday, February 4th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. We hope to see you there. And so with our Oklahoma Counseling Institute, we are also adding new courses every week. You can go to counselinginstitute.org, click that CEU tab to find our full on-demand training catalog. We have over 80 courses, over 240 hours of board-approved CEs. So again, go to counselinginstitute.org to learn more. And so that's what's going on at Oklahoma Counseling Institute. Let's talk about Edmond Counseling Professional Development. And so, as you know, we have a lot of free groups going on. First of all, we have Smart Recovery. So Smart Recovery is a support group for folks who are experiencing addiction. That meets on Thursday nights. We also have Smart Friends and Family, which happens on Wednesday night. Is led by our very own Sarah Mears Ivy, and that is a group for those who have loved ones who are experiencing addiction. You can learn more about Smart Recovery or Smart Friends and Family by going to smartedmond.com. That is smartedmond.com. We also have 2 more support groups. One of them you might already be familiar with, and that is our chronic pain support group that happens on Tuesday nights and is run by our very own Amanda Beck. And then starting in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a divorce and relationship loss support group. And that'll be facilitated by our very own Sarah McFadden. That'll happen on Thursday nights. That one has not started yet. It should start here, I think, 2 weeks from this Thursday. You can go to edmondcounseling.com/divorce to learn more about the divorce and relationship loss group. Go to edmondcounseling.com/pain to learn about our chronic pain support group, or go to smartedmond.com to learn about our smart group or smart family and friends group. We also have a few folks who have openings for in-person or online appointments. And so if you have a client or a client's family member or anyone you know who might benefit from mental health counseling from us, send to edmondcounseling.com to check out who all has openings at this time. And then they can send us an email or shoot us a text if they are interested in making an appointment. And again, our number is 405-440-3034. Our email, hello@edmondcounseling.com. And so also at Edmond Counseling Professional Development, don't forget we have organizational wellness trainings. And so if your organization could benefit from training or benefit from just some psychoeducation about burnout, maybe some steps for burnout prevention for individuals or organizations, you can reach out to us and we're happy to tell you more about that. We also offer career assessments. Micah is trained in some evidence-based assessment protocols for helping folks to find their career, whether they are just now jumping into finding their first career or they're looking at changing careers. You can go to edmondcounseling.com to learn more or send us a text, shoot us an email, and we'd be happy to share all of our information on that. And so lots going on at Edmond Counseling Professional Development, lots going on at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. And we're very grateful for all of your support. Thank you all for liking. Thank you all for sharing this Monday Lunchtime Digest every week. And so one person that liked and commented that I'm grateful for is Janie Michelle Brown Underhill. Janie, you have won our free on-demand course from the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. Yay, Janie. So send me an email, shoot me a text, let me know which course from our on-demand catalog you would like added to your profile. And if you'd like to be like Janie, if you'd like to be entered into a drawing for next week's prize, you can do one of all three things. One of three or all three things. You can like this post, you can share this post, or you can comment your answer to today's question. Every time you do one of those three things, not only help us grow, help us be seen by others, we also get entered into the drawing for next week's prize. And so that being said, our question for today comes from the national day that it is. So according to the internet, which never lies, today is National Clean Off Your Desk Day. And so I have not gotten that far. My desk is not dirty, just has an eclectic array of items for me to sort through right now. But I want to ask you guys, what is your favorite thing on your desk right now? And so for me, my favorite thing on my desk is this little Zen Garden litter box. And so it looks like a litter box, but it is a little Zen garden with little kitty cats. And it is a little piece of mindfulness, as it says, a little piece of goofy as well. But that is the favorite thing on my desk. And so let us know in the comments, what's your favorite thing on your desk right now? Or you can tell us, do you plan on cleaning off your desk for National Cleaning Off Your Desk Day? And again, every time you comment, share, or like this post, not only do you help us grow, we also get entered into the drawing for next week's prize. And so thank you all so much for tuning in today. I hope that you have a wonderful start to your week, and we'll see you again next time.